This comic book event is ridiculously bloated and unfocused. I don't think it's gonna work, quite frankly, but that doesn't mean that some gems of characters won't emerge from this slop. You know, I think we already see some characters we'd like to stick around, and that's Brazilian Wonder Woman and Red X. They definitely generated the most traffic today when this was announced. I had like these really detailed, like an outline of notes that I wanted to do, but as I went through all the titles, I was like, this is just never ending. So don't worry, we're gonna go over them together, but I wanted to go over them first so I'd be ready to talk to you about them. But it's like, it's just too many, and it's over just a 2-month span. So that's also a huge investment money-wise. And you know you're gonna wanna buy all of them. I wanna buy all of them, even though I don't think it looks that great. But as a comic book fan, I'm a sucker for ultimate, alternate universe versions of characters, complete with makeover. I'm like, what's going on? Let me see what you decided to do here. And so maybe DC should the whole point of a crossover event is to get you to buy titles you normally wouldn't buy. You're like, oh, yeah, I usually would never pick up this book, but I must see what happens. So, but this is so expensive that they should have some kind of future state, subscription plan where if you're willing to buy every single one, then you get some kind of discount. Because, this is just a huge undertaking. You have so many titles, as you're about to see, and some of them run from 1 to 4 issues, although some of them are just standalones. All right, so this is a crossover event. In comic books, these are a very big deal because, again, from a business perspective, they're supposed to, they really help drive sales. But creatively, when done right, they feel like it's a big blockbuster movie. Like Avengers Endgame would be a crossover event, right? And you'd have like little mini adventures. You know what? It's a little bit like what they're trying to do with Disney Plus and the big screen, right? And big screen movies. So think of Disney Plus as like the standalone titles. And then when they come together in the movies, that's the big crossover event. So that's the best way I can explain it if you're not a comic book fan. And it's pretty smart to reverse engineer that into TV and film. Now, to date, the best crossover event is, in my opinion, and I believe many of you agree with me, is Marvel's Age of Apocalypse. And that was a while ago, and no one's been able to top it. It was so good, and that's because Marvel made the commitment. It was for an entire freaking year, and they only focused on the X-Men, and they changed every title to be an alternate version of that title, featuring the alternate version of those characters. And I see a little bit of that in Future State, which is one of the things that, excites me about it. I'm like, oh, but it's only for 2 months. Now, the other crossover events that I feel have come close are DC's Blackest Night, which also ran for a year, but it didn't have the scope. It didn't quite have the scope of Age of Apocalypse, but it was very, very entertaining. It's definitely, I feel, second place. And I also, just to show you that there are some crossover events recently that are pretty good, War of the Realms, I thought, at Marvel, which ran for 4 months, was pretty good. I liked that. And I mentioned I focus on the time that these events ran because I really think you need that time to tell the stories correctly and to really get audiences invested in them. This, to me, feels like marketing. They're like, it's like what Star Wars is doing with the upcoming books that they're doing, like the books and comic books they have coming out where they're like, we don't know which characters to push forward. Why don't we just throw them all out there and let the audience decide who they like the best? And it's like, oh man, if you're going to have me do market research for you, why do I have to pay to do it? Shouldn't you just give me these books for free and then I tell you who I like the best and then I'll pay for those later? I feel it's a little disingenuous. It reminds me, in fact, of what the Marvel Now initiative that recently came out. And, I think it's very important to diversify the characters that are out there, but it never really works replacing the mantle. I think that, people have said, and we can see from which characters have succeeded, that people want to see organic new characters for representation. And I think that, some of the other things that DC is doing, like bringing back Milestone Comics, will probably be the most successful. Like, for instance, we know that John Ridley's Batman is going to be a black character. That's a screenwriter for 12 Years a Slave. It seems that it's going to be Luke Fox. And so, I don't know, I feel it's a little bit of a cop-out to have a full face mask so that you can't tell that when you look at the character. I mean, that bothers me a little bit. And then Aquaman, it's so great to see, well, it's not Calder, but, it's the comic book version of Calder. I think his name's Jackson. So it's cool to see him there, but on the Justice League title that they're doing, he's not actually Aquaman. It's instead Aquaman and Mira's daughter. So that's, I think, a little bit of, I just feel like, just be genuine, and upfront. I think the redesign on Zatanna, they keep trying to redesign her. They're like, they're like, we don't want to do the top hat. So they keep trying to come up with different looks for her. And I'm like, the top hat, we all like the top hat. Like, it's cool. She wears like this tuxedo. It's awesome. Harley Quinn, again, I think that they don't understand often the appeal of the character. I just really don't like that redesign. Wonder Woman, I'm not quite sure how I feel about Wonder Woman. I'm not loving Wonder Woman, to be honest, even though she does wear Batman's utility belt and has a Green Lantern necklace. I'm like, meh. But the real winner, by far and away, I feel like the best design, 100%, is, two designs, actually. I love Brazilian Wonder Woman. She is phenomenal. And as I tweeted earlier today, that character's so popular, Wonder Woman in particular, but DC Comics, Brazil loves DC, but they really love Wonder Woman. So it's genius to create a character like that. But again, does she have to be Wonder Woman? Can't she have a new name? Can't she just be an Amazon? It's like, the Green Lanterns have really done well with having different versions because they can all coexist. This replacing, I think, is what comes to the problem. It's like, well, you can have a lot of Robins. Like, that works too. I like this Flash character with the prosthetic, runner legs. Patoris guy? I think that's a great look. I think that's very, very cool. And of course, like every Teen Titans fan, I am curious what they're going to do with Red X. They have 2 characters with prosthetic legs? That's crazy. All right, so yeah, we're going to go through all of these, and I'll be very curious to hear your thoughts down below, including which ones you're going to purchase. They've divided the titles into 3 categories. This is, again, keep in mind, over the course of 2 months. So it's going to be Batman. It's going to be a situation where Bruce Wayne is dead, but they already revealed that he's not dead. They're like, he's not actually dead. Because, everybody's like, we like Bruce Wayne. But Bruce Wayne isn't the official Batman. Although I think it kind of undermines John Ridley's Batman if Bruce Wayne's still running around in another bat suit. Well, see, this is my problem. And then also, there's a new villain in Gotham called the Magisrate, which is an organization which is basically like AIM. It's DC's AIM. So they're robots. You get to fight robots. So if you kill them, it's not a problem. And Peacekeeper 1 is apparently the leader. That's so complex. And that story doesn't have anything to do with the other. The way you do these events is you're supposed to have one thing that affects all the titles. But no, that's just in the Batman corner of DC Future State. Then Superman, he's decided to leave Earth. He's like, I'm not welcome here anymore. I wonder why. I bet it feels forced. So he's off in space dealing with the new gods and stuff, while Jonathan Kent has taken over on Earth. And Wonder Woman, for some reason, is looped into this corner because poor Lois always has to share her man. She's like, damn it, I can't escape this lady. And then Justice League is like a grab bag. They're like, what do you think of these versions of these characters? This reminds me, this not only reminds me of Marvel Now, but this is what they've come up with at DC instead of the 5G plan that they were working on, which was going to be a permanent switch to new identities for these characters, different people carrying on the mantle. Again, that never works. It's never worked trying to switch the mantle. And it hasn't really worked over at Marvel either. People like who they like as Thor, although I did like Jane Foster as Thor. That's probably the only time I've seen it work. And a lot of people wouldn't agree that it worked, but I liked it. But anyway, people like it when it's Steve Rogers as Captain America, Tony Stark as Iron Man, and, for the most part, Thor is Thor. Even Black Widow, people like it when it's Natasha. It really just, it's very difficult to switch these characters. But these comic book companies just keep trying. All right, let's go through this. It's extensive. Get a snack. Get ready for a lot of love and complaining at the same time. We're going to like some stuff, we're going to hate some stuff, and I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on it. Oh, so many titles. You can't even imagine it till you see it for yourself, so get ready. All right, so we're starting off with the next Batman. That's a pretty cover. I will say that. This is John Ridley's book. It's going to focus not only on, they're giving it away that it's Luke Fox, but Lucius Fox maybe will be involved as well. I would like to see that. I would love, they tried to have Lucius Fox replace Alfred, who they have killed off. And I don't know, I think Lucius Fox deserves a little better than being Alfred's replacement. So I am curious to see this dynamic. It's so important for a comic book to have good art for it to succeed. Look, that drone is right next to him. Is that drone working with Batman, or is it just like, it's someone who's operating that drone is like, I'm in the perfect position to witness greatness. But Gotham looks great. That's a really, really great cover. I love that. And also, they don't warrant their own cover, but Outsiders and Arkham Knights are also going to be shoehorned into this book. This next Batman is going to run 4 issues, but it's 64 pages. So it's $8. This is for one comic. So it's $8 an issue, and there will be 4 of them over the course of 2 months. My God, I had to take out a loan to buy all these comics. So the Outsiders are run by Katana. Hold on, let me bring up the graphic of Katana, who looks a little anime there. I don't know why she has horns. I don't like that design on Katana. I give it a 0. I don't like it at all. I really don't like it. And there's her soul sword. Although I like the soul sword having that glowing effect to it. Mila Jovovich is like, I just did that. So, but I don't like the way Katana looks at all. Not a fan. And then there are the Arkham Knights. Arkham Asylum, it says, has been decommissioned. And so now the lunatics have their own little gang. And they said it's going to be Croc, Two-Face, Phosphorus, Zaz, Clayface. And they're like, we need a woman in here. So we're going to put in this new character, Astrid Arkham. It sounds like I'm not going to like it, but maybe I will. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Is she a doctor? I have mixed feelings. Where's the artwork? Let me see how she looks. Oh, not yet. Damn it, I'm going to buy all this. You just know you are. All right, now next up, Harley Quinn. By the way, Harley Quinn, you're going to find out in a minute, but Harley Quinn, they've taken her out of Gotham City Sirens. What? All right, we'll talk about that when we get to it. But there's Harley in her own title. I really hate that design. I couldn't hate it more. I really dislike it. I just think it's awful. Really, really bad. But I'll read it because I love Harley Quinn. So she's fighting Black Mask's gang, apparently, and also dealing with a Scarecrow who now apparently works for the Magistrate. All right, this is so much of an info dump. So, you're seeing Harley continually paired up with Black Mask because of the Birds of Prey movie. And I think that's interesting because you're seeing a similar situation in Marvel where all of a sudden Black Widow is always with Taskmaster. So I don't know. I don't know if that's good or not for the respective villains. I don't know if it's a downgrade or an upgrade. It feels a little bit like a downgrade. Even though I love both Black Widow and Harley Quinn, I feel the way it was done is not so, is a little undignified for both Black Mask and Taskmaster. Let's see how it turns out in the movie, though. So we'll see how this works out. And I don't like the art either. I don't like it. But look, she's bashing some robots. I guess that's our look at the Magistrate robots. Nah, I don't like that design either. All right. Then here's Dark Detective. I like Mariko Tamaki. I think is a pretty good writer. Although I think that her Wonder Woman has just gone off the rails after a very strong start. The current Wonder Woman title. I'm this close to not buying it anymore. But anyway, here's Batman being like, I can't catch a goddamn break. So yeah, that's Bruce Wayne. He's like really upset. This is going to be, okay, so wait a second. Harley Quinn was 2 issues. So Harley Quinn was 2 issues, all right? Dark Detective is going to be 4 issues, 48 pages. And so it's not only going to focus on Bruce Wayne working behind the scenes, right, as he always does, but then also there's going to bring back Cole Cash as Grifter. I don't care. I'll read it, though, or maybe skim through it. Then here's a Robin title. By the way, where the heck is Damian Wayne during all this? I'm pretty upset that he hasn't been mentioned at all, because this is going to be Tim Drake. This is 2 issues only, and no backup, so it's only 32 pages. And so let's see here. Tim and Spoiler. Spoiler will come up again in a moment. But she's going to show up here as well. So I don't know. Tim Drake is my least favorite Robin, but I know some people really like him. So here's the book for you. This doesn't look so great to me. I mean, I'll buy it. Damn it. Okay. It's very frustrating. All right, then here's issue number 2 of the Batman, and this is getting a spotlight because I guess alternating, it'll feature different backups. So this one has the two better backups. It has Batgirls, which are going to be Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown, looking very Mortal Kombat-y. I hope they get a new, I don't know, calling them Batgirls sounds a little bit like they're like a girl group, so I don't love that. But it's better than calling Cassandra Cain Orphan, which I never liked as a name. And then I don't know when Stephanie became so badass, she's supposed to be the Robin with a heart. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'll read it because I like Cassandra Cain in particular. I don't know why they have to have the exact same outfit, just different coloring. But I'll read it. That's my whole review for this. I'll read it. As for Gotham City Sirens, they said it's going to be Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and a new Siren? What the hell? Unless it's Killer Frost. Then I will allow it. But I'm not really happy about taking Harley out of that. I mean, it's just, I don't understand why DC can't give us what we want. Harley and Ivy together. And I know some people don't like that, but oh well, that's what they did. And the majority of people really love it. So, end of story. All right, so and there's no image of the Gotham City Sirens, which to me is criminal that they haven't released an image for that. And Catwoman gets her own book. This is going to be just 2 issues. I always continually pick up Catwoman, and I'm always disappointed. It's not been anywhere near as good since Darwin Cook. Who else was writing it with I forgot, but that era was the best. All right, so anyway, here's Catwoman in the future pulling a Mrs. Incredible where she too shall stop a train. And I don't know, she's like tech Catwoman. I think it's okay. I don't know why in the new costume, and it seems in this one as well, she has her armpits free to breathe. I'm like, why is why are your underarms exposed? That's a really weird costume design. She's like, I like it, leave me alone. So here's Catwoman. So she has a new magnetic suit. That's kind of a cool idea. And she has assisted by her trusty band of strays. I don't like that at all. Catwoman works alone. I mean, if it's a bunch of orphan kids who are strays. Oh, and she has a new protege? Don't like it at all. Don't like it at all. But I'll read it. All right. Next up, Future State Nightwing #1. This is also 2 issues. Nicola Scott's doing the artwork. She's fantastic. I don't like all the extra gear on Nightwing. I'm like, why does he have a chin strap? I don't like that. I don't think that's good at all. He's like more techno, and he's apparently hanging out at Arkham Asylum, which has been abandoned. They don't really know what to do with Dick Grayson either these days. So, but I'll read it. But that doesn't spark joy. All right, then this looks like a waste of time. This is Batman Superman. 2 issues. This is early days when the Magisrate took over Gotham City and Bruce Wayne was still out in front, wearing his old suit. Will we have another look at Bruce? I mean, I don't know. He's over-teched too with his new suit. And a Batman without a cape? I don't know. What the heck am I looking at? Okay. Let's see here. Professor Pig has a kryptonite scalpel. That's kind of cool, I guess. But I don't like Professor Pig very much. All right, so anyway, I don't know about that. If I want to save money, I would probably not pick up this title. Oh yeah, so there's Batman with his better suit on. Oh, who's in the reflection there? That's a pretty interesting look. I like that. I wonder who he's fighting. Is that a member of the Magisrate? But who's their #1 operative? That's a gorgeous cover. I love that you can really see Bruce's eyes and his 5 o'clock shadow. He's like, I didn't shave today. I was too distracted thinking about how I'm going to beat the crap out of you. So yeah, I'll read that for sure. This is the 2nd issue of Dark Detective. So it's, again, 2 of 4 issues. So let's see. Let's see what's going on here. It has a backup of the Red Hood. And that's Jason Todd as he's a hunter for the Magisrate. Maybe he's undercover. Maybe he'll just say he's undercover later when people are like, did you work for the Magisrate? And he was like, undercover. But he has a cool new design. I do like what they're doing with Red Hood. The Mortal Kombat look for him, I think, works. And I like the glowiness factor on it as well. He looks pretty cool. Although his recent makeout session with Barbara Gordon, I thought was, and being tied naked to a chair. I mean, I know it's Black Label, but come on, man. I have to have some self-respect while I read this stuff. Okay. All right, so those are the Batman titles. That's just 1/3. All right, let's look at this. Let's start with the Superman titles. All right, so Kara Zor-El, Superwoman. I don't know about calling her Superwoman. I mean, you're trying to give her more dignity instead of Supergirl, but is she fighting like in a ball gown? Although I do like the hair. And the expression on that face is excellent. So I kind of like the artwork, don't like the new costume. She's now the protector of the moon, which is like a refugee camp for aliens. We'll see. But I think it looks only okay, quite frankly. But I do like the artwork enough that I would probably pick that up. I'd have to look at the preview, I guess. That's going to be 2 issues. Then that's gorgeous artwork. That is just absolutely gorgeous. That is Jonathan Kent, once again, with the Bottle City. That's Metropolis, because a new version of Brainiac attacks. And so he's like, I got to do all this again, but a slightly different version because I'm not my dad. What's with that belt that he has on? I don't know how I feel about that belt. I am, in terms of replacing who wears the mantle, I do have some interest in Jonathan Kent. That's why I'm wondering where the hell Damian is. But, I don't know. I kind of like this cool Superman. He's like Timothy Chalamet, basically. But he looks like he means business. That's a very nice cover. That cover makes me want to pick it up. So he's, let's see here. So, and then also they have the Guardian is going to show up in here, and also a new Mr. Miracle, which nobody asked for a new Mr. Miracle. No one was like, man, I've sure had enough of Mr. Miracle. Can someone else wear this costume? You're like, well, I want more Mr. Miracle the way he was. Oh, and Jimmy Olsen's apparently still around. I'll be curious to see what they decide to do with him. This is just 2 issues. Okay. By the way, cover artist is totally different than the interior. No, it is the same. All right, good. I hate when they do that switch. Okay, then Superman versus Imperious Lex. This is 3 issues. Crappy art. Although the artist on the cover is different than inside. Thank God. Here, Lex has started a Lextopia, Lexor, which is on a planet somewhere else where, it's a haven everybody loves. But apparently Superman and Lois are there to ruin it for everybody. They're like, he has an alternate plan, or he's doing, of course there's something in it for him. And it's like, who cares? As long as everybody else is benefiting, why shouldn't Lex get a little something for himself? As long as it doesn't hurt anyone else, although it probably does if it's Lex. I do like Lex. I feel like they don't know what to do with him these days, but I like businessman Lex, so I'll probably pick this up because it looks like it's a little bit like what they're doing. Then here's Superman Worlds of War. This is going to be where he's going off to deal with the new gods and be on Warworld, a little Planet Hulk action, I guess. I don't know why he's wearing chains, why he's incorporated that into his look, but I don't like it. I never like Superman when he fights aliens. To me, it doesn't work. Superman is better when he fights, Lex Luthor. And also the other, basically most of the villains from the animated series. I'm not a huge fan of when he goes full alien. I don't like it. He's supposed to be half human, half alien. That's the whole idea. But anyway, not here. So we're going to see that. Then also Midnighter. That'll be interesting to have Midnighter on here. And then a new character called Black Racer, which is a girl raised in the slums of Warworld to be one of its top competitors. It really is Planet Hulk. But she decides she's going to be a freedom fighter. That's pretty cool. I want to see what her design is. Why did they not release it? All right. Superman and Wonder Woman, but it's the new ones. It's Clark Kent and Yara Flor, Brazilian Wonder Woman. And I don't like his costume here. It doesn't look as good. That art on the cover is not good. But apparently they have to team up, but they're very different. But can they get along? I'm sure they can. I don't know. Let's see how this works out. That's not very inspiring to me. 2 issues. All right, next up, so those are the Superman titles. Now we're going over into Justice League. All right, so here's Justice League number 1. You can see it has the John Ridley Batman. It's got our new Wonder Woman. Boy, she looks great. She looks really, really great. Jonathan Kent is Superman. Then there is our Aquawoman, Andy Curry. That sounds funny. So that's Andy Curry, daughter of Mira, and an Aquaman. She's got like some kind of blades, like a Wolverine, like a discount Wolverine look going on there. Then we have a new Green Lantern, Joe Moline, and then also a different Flash. They're trying to hide who Batman is, but it's pretty clearly Luke Fox. All right, so anyway, they're not saying who that Flash is either. Who I think is a guy. I think that's a guy. I like the white hair. Is that Speed? No, that's a different comic book company. Because that's a different speedster from a different comic book company. So they're at the Hall of Justice, and I don't know, this group looks only okay to me. I don't love them, but I'll read it. So let's see here. And so it has a backup with Justice League Dark, where Zatanna and Detective Chimp, now possessed by Etrigan. Man, stop trying to make Detective Chimp work. I know some of you like Detective Chimp, but it just drags every comic down for me that he's in. So they're going to look up their old teammates, John Constantine, Ragman, and Madame Xanadu. I'd like to see what that design looks like. And they have to go find the Power Mad Crow King and Merlin. Oh, Merlin. Just find Merlin. And also Dr. Fate's going to factor into it. Well, I'd like to see that design as well. I'll pick this up. All right, so that's one of 2 issues. Then here's Aquaman, where, oh boy, Jackson Hyde is the new Aquaman, but they're going to focus on him being the babysitter / mentor to Andy Curry here when she's much younger, apparently. And then also, he's a prisoner. So he's looking back on his time when he was raising and training Andy. And then we fast forward to where he's a prisoner on let's see here, on Neptune for 5 years, and he's trying to get out. I'll pick that up. All right, I'm going to probably buy most of these. All right, then The Flash. This is going to be 2 issues as well. No powers for Barry Allen and the other former Flashes face the deadliest threat they've ever encountered. Wally West. Why do they keep trying to destroy Wally West? It's character assassination, I tell you. I'm not even a really big Flash fan, but I feel bad for Wally West and his fans. And they have a similar situation with Green Lantern, which is going to be also just 2 issues where nobody has any powers here either. Hey kids, do you want to see your favorite superheroes with no powers? Just kind of walking around? No. And they'll also, while this has a backup with Guy Gardner and Jessica Cruz, they too are powerless. Then here's Immortal Wonder Woman. Becky Cloonan's very talented. She's going to be doing part of the writing. She's co-writing it. So I would be interested in what she decides to do. So that's cool. So there's no mention as to why she has Batman's utility belt or a Green Lantern ring around her neck. But it's talking about, an older Wonder Woman, and how, what her life is like. So I'd be curious in that to see what happens there. Then also they have something that's a little bit closer to the current time period with Diana Prince, and they're going to have introduce Nubia. They're going to bring Nubia back, which is another Wonder Woman, by the way. I think it's interesting they didn't really show that so they wouldn't undercut the new Brazilian Wonder Woman, but that's 3 Wonder Women that they're going to have in this. And I just, again, I don't know if I like the idea of making Wonder Woman like Green Lantern, where there are just different versions of them. I wish they would just have different names. I like the idea of other Amazons coming forward, but I don't particularly like the idea of them all being called Wonder Woman. Also, I feel bad for Nubia because the Brazilian Wonder Woman's going to get all the attention, so I just don't know how well this is planned out. Then Legion of Superheroes, for some reason they have funky masks. They're like, oh, what if we had crazy masks? And I'm like, not particularly interested. So this is two issues. Then Shazam, another 2 issues. This looks like relatively the same. Let's see. Yeah, he's apparently tied into the Titans storyline maybe a little bit. Suicide Squad. They always manage to make this interesting. Suicide Squad looks pretty interesting to me. Amanda Waller has apparently remade the world in her own image, and apparently she's made the Justice League evil. Batman's got blades. Is that Damian? And there's that cool Flash design. I think she looks really neat. Also, there's a backup here for Black Adam. And we find out what's happened to Kandak during this time. I think he's even further in the future. Maybe. We'll see. This is two issues. Then Swamp Thing. Oh, look, he's like the Statue of Liberty. Get it? 2 issues. I'm not a big Swamp Thing fan, but for those of you who are into Swamp Thing, you get to see what happened to him. Then Teen Titans. Why isn't he on the cover? This is where Red X is going to show up. What a missed opportunity. They say that the Teen Titans was supposed to be a school to train new heroes, but it went as bad as Luke Skywalker's school, and now they're picking up the pieces. Nightwing, Starfire. Starfire looks great. Beast, her hair, always great hair. Beast Boy, who's not on this cover, it looks like. Cyborg, also not on the cover. What? And then Raven. So this cover is not selling the book as it should. And then Red X. Again, Red X is going to show up here as a former student, who's gonna be in the mix. So that's pretty cool. He should be on the cover. It's so stupid. And then the best for last, the new Wonder Woman. Boy, does she look great. She's got an awesome beauty mark. I love the bangs. Her hair is zhuzhed on the top just right. She's got the long sleeves, so it makes up for wearing like the bathing suit kind of a situation. I love that they've made her lasso a bolo. I mean, it couldn't be better. She apparently also rides a horse. What? I wonder if it's a winged Pegasus. But she comes from the rainforest, the Amazon rainforest. Get it? And she's going to take over in the absence of Diana. I don't know where Diana is. She has her own title, so I don't know what's going on. But she's going to go to the underworld to rescue one of her Themyscirian sisters from the grasp of Hades. Boy, that sounds like a winner. They said, you won't want to miss this first appearance of a character who will change the history of Wonder Woman forever. I believe it. She looks like a winner. All right, so what characters are the most interesting to you? Which offend you? And which of these titles do you think you'll pick up? I really feel DC should offer a subscription package because this is just ridiculously expensive. And do you think this event will work out? Well, I don't know. I think people will definitely talk about it. All right, or will it be one of those situations where you buy all, this has happened to me. I buy all the titles and it's just too many of them and it's too hard to read and I feel I missed it. I paid for a lot of Empire comics that I just never got around to reading and I resent it a little bit. All right, so thanks for going over this with me. Share your thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.